Good morning and or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're from. I'm in Arizona, so I happen to be on Pacific time. My name is Dan Karazi, and I am chairman of the Prix to West Committee, and I would like to welcome you to the 2020 Prix to West Virtual Awards presentation. I want to begin by thanking all of the Prix to West artists who have taken the time to join us for today's presentation. As I said earlier, I think we're at about 68 people right now. Because I know for many of you, and I realize that it took some juggling of schedules and some efforts technology-wise to join us today, so thank you. And on behalf of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum, I want to thank you and your fellow artists who were unable to join us today for participating in the 2020 Prix to West. Additionally, I'd like to welcome our two new guest artists for this year, Teresa Elliott and Eric Bowman, whose first Prix to West, unfortunately, happens to be virtual. And to say that these times are trying and difficult certainly would not be an over-exaggeration, because I don't imagine that anyone could have ever thought that we would literally have had our world turned upside down so quickly and for such a prolonged period of time. And in the face of that, what we are experiencing, I think it is truly remarkable that we have 89 Prix to West artists with 272 magnificent works of art in the virtual sale. And for that, I commend and thank each and every one of you. I also want to acknowledge and especially thank Susan Patterson, curator of special exhibits, and also the museum staff. In spite of the challenging conditions they're working with, they truly did an exceptional job installing the 2020 Prix to West show. Additionally, I'd like to acknowledge the members of our Prix to West committee, who, believe it or not, have been working since this past February, getting ready for today and for the sale next month. And the members of our committee are Tom Atherton, Lance Benham, Martin Dickinson, Lynn Fries, Orrin Gupsh, Gary Kinslow, Liz Loki, Susan Roeder, Greg Simon, Roger Simons, and Hank True. Thank you, one and all. Once the decision was made for this year's sale to go virtual, and realizing that the majority of us on the committee would not have the ability or the opportunity to see the show in person, we had to decide what to do with the Prix to West Awards. Were we going to go ahead with the awards, or were we going to hold off? And we very quickly concluded, since you were all so committed to the Prix to West and so loyal to the museum, that we needed to move forward with the awards. And although most of us on the committee have not been able to see the show in person, there were several committee members who did make it to the museum to see the show. So during our deliberations, we've had the benefit of hearing both their firsthand impressions and their thoughts about the show and about the individual artwork, and the impressions of the staff about the overall quality of the show. And that, I have to say, greatly assisted us during our selection process. So we're very, very pleased with where we landed with respect to the awards. And now I would like to ask Hank True, chairman of the museum's board, and also a member of the Prix to West committee, to offer remarks on behalf of the board.
Thank you, Dan. As I'm here to speak for all of the board of directors of the museum, I must add my thanks for all of the artists and the Prix to West committee members for being part of this presentation. Special thanks go out to Natalie, to Susan, and to you, Dan, for all the long, endless hours that you put in to make the virtual Prix to West an absolute best it can be. Without the efforts we have put in to achieve the excellence of the Prix to West itself. We are so pleased to have such a quality and diversity in the art being shown this year, depicting the early days of the West to the more contemporary and impressionistic works that are shown. I want to add my congratulations from the board of directors to all of the award recipients, as I know in many cases, these were not very easy decisions. Thanks again from the board, and now I'll turn the program back over to Dan.
Thank you very much, Hank. Normally, during our artist meeting on Thursday of the Prix de West weekend, when we are in Oklahoma City, we always hand out the years of service pins at the different milestones to our artists. And so since we will not be meeting in person in Oklahoma City, unfortunately, I would like to announce the 2020 service pin recipients. And the first recipients are our two new guest artists for this year, and they received their first year pin, and that is Eric Bowman and Teresa Elliott. And next, we have the 5-year pin, and that pin goes to Glendine and ZS Liang. And the next milestone is for 10 years of participation with the Prix de West, and the artist with 10 years of participation is Kyle Polson. And for 15 years of participation, we have Greg Beecham, Tom Browning, and Francois Koch. And for 20 years of participation, we have David Mann. And there are 2 artists with 25 years of participation, and they are Scott Christensen and Charles Fritz. And believe it or not, with 30 years of participation in the Prix de West, we have David LaFell, Terry Moyers, and Tucker Smith. And finally, with 35 years of service in the Prix de West, we have Cyrus Asbury. Congratulations to all of the Prix de West artists who are celebrating milestone years. And please be sure to keep an eye out for the pins that will be in the mail in the next week or two. From talking with a lot of you, I know that at least 2 of our Prix de West artists who are on the call this morning have had a chance to see the show in person. So I'm going to ask each of you if you would briefly share your impressions of the show with the rest of us. I think it would be very, very helpful and very enlightening for all of us to hear from actual artists and actual artists who are Prix de West artists in the show. So I'd like to begin with Paul Moore, who, by the way, prepared this year's bolo, Cocopelli, which looks absolutely incredible. Thank you, Paul. We really appreciate your making this for the Prix de West, and I'm sure everyone is looking forward to receive it. So at this time, Paul, if you would be sure to unmute your device so that we could hear your remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. One thing that all of us expect from the Cowboy Hall is high quality shows. And this year you wouldn't be, disappointed at all. This was, after Ed Muno retired, I tell you, Susan jumped in and did an incredible job on setting up the show. And the lighting was incredible. I think everyone would be very pleased with it. Every artist did an extremely good job. I think the show's as good as last year's show, if not better in many ways. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that it's just another stunning show that the Cowboy Hall is always known for. If they didn't do it, I think we'd all be shocked. But anyway, in my opinion, they display the artwork better than any other museum. So anyway, congratulations to everyone that participated. Every one of you would be very pleased with the way your artwork was displayed and hung and lit. And I've heard nothing but great comments every time I've gone there to look at the show. Everyone that's viewing it, there's so much conversation going on and so much excitement happening. So I really think we're going to have a good year on sales.
Thank you, Paul. We really appreciate that, especially coming from you. And next, I'd like to ask Andy Peters to share his impressions. And if you would, Andy, be sure to unmute your mic. And just an FYI for everyone, when I was talking with Andy the other day about giving his impressions, he asked me, he says, how long do you want me to talk? And I said, Abe Lincoln once said, when someone asked him how long should a man's legs be, I said long enough to reach the ground. So for whatever that's worth, Andy, if you would share your impressions.
Be happy to. Thank you, Dan. And you'll all be pleased to know that my remarks will be very brief. But it was such a treat to go to the Cowboy and to walk through the show and to see all of the work. It looked as if Ed Muno had hung the show, and I mean that in the most complimentary way. Susan did a fabulous job. In the main galleries, the background wall is the same as it was last year, kind of a burnt sienna. The work looks very good. Typically, it's very well lighted. There's not quite as many pieces, but I didn't really get the feeling of that. I mean, the show is open and it moves beautifully, and the paintings are really just delightful. I was able to sort of see each and every one of you, your faces that I miss so much, as I looked at each work of art. And we are so lucky to have this venue where we can gather and become friends and to be involved, to show together in such a prestigious way that if I had not been able to go to the Cowboy and see the show, it would have been a lost year in a way. But everybody really stepped up. I thought the work looked great. Susan Patterson did such a beautiful job hanging the show. The sculptures in particular stand out on their locations throughout the floor. And it was a delightful experience. So congratulations to those people behind that. And thank you, Dan, for all you do for us.
Thank you, Andy. Very much appreciated. And now for the 2020 Prix de West Awards presentation, which is being done much like today's sporting events, without fans and unfortunately without collectors. So it will certainly make for a very different experience for all of us. But in order to make it seem a little more official and maybe a little more normal, I thought I would don my usual cowboy hat that I wear on stage. Now, before we begin the presentations, just some general information. I would like to mention to all of the award recipients that once your name is announced for the award, that you should unmute your mic, and we would like to have you give some remarks. And if you could keep your remarks to, I realize none of you are really long-winded, but if you could keep your remarks to 30 seconds or under, that would be great. So at this time, we will begin the Prix de West Awards presentation for 2020. Our first award is the Donald Teague Memorial Award of $3,000 for exceptional artistic merit for work on paper, encompassing watercolor, transparent and opaque, gouache, color pencil, Conte crayon, pastel, graphite, and mixed media. And the award is sponsored by the Scottsdale Art Auction. And the award this year goes to Scott Burdick for Ponca Nation. Congratulations, Scott. You would unmute your mic, Scott?
Sue's getting it. Sue's the technical one. Well, thanks. That's really exciting. I have to thank Sue for unmiking me and for everything else. And I'm kind of excited that particular one because Serena, the girl in that, she'd posed when she was 12 for a demo at the.
She lives in Oklahoma.
And she lives in Oklahoma, and her grandmother Nancy is. I did some drawings of her at their house in Shawnee, at her grandmother's house, and I took this photograph of her in between some of my drawing sessions of her. So it's kind of appropriate that it could be in the show.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. That's really exciting.
Great. Thank you, Scott, and congratulations again. Our next award is the Express Ranch's Great American Cowboy Award of $3,000. And it comes as no surprise that the Express Ranches is all about cowboys. So this award is presented to the artists exhibiting the best cowboy, cowgirl subject matter. And this year's award goes to Carrie Ballantyne for Young Hand. Congratulations, Carrie.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. My daughter will be tickled. She's the young hand when she was a young hand. Now she's an old hand. But thank you to the Express Ranches. It's very generous. And I agree with Andrew that it's really hard not seeing everybody in person. This show has become family to me, and you all at the Prix de West at the museum treat us like royalty, and this is the highlight of my year. So to not come and be there and seeing you all has been very difficult. This particular piece was intended actually for last year, and I wasn't able to attend last year, and so I'm really glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie, and again, congratulations. The next award is the James Earl Fraser Sculpture Award, and it is named for the deceased artist whose body of work includes one of the most widely recognized images of our time, and the one that has become a signature of the museum. And I think, as we all know, it is the imposing end of the trail sculpture that we initially see upon entering the museum. And the $3,000 award is sponsored by the Charlie Russell Riders in honor of Steve Rose, and it is presented for exceptional artistic merit for sculpture. And this year, I'm very pleased to say that the award goes to Harold Holden for Strike Lightning. Congratulations, Harold. Okay. Harold or Edna, if you could unmute your device, we'd love to hear from you.
Very surprising to me.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
I don't know what to say. That's I didn't think I'd ever win anything, and good gosh, I don't have anything to say. I don't know why I really thank everybody or whoever's responsible, but I'll have to.
No
I'm very grateful.
No problem, Hank. We're very, very happy for you, and we're very, very pleased. And don't feel badly that you don't have a lot of words to share with us. We can see the excitement on your face, and we can see Edna May there. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. He always thought he would never win anything, and so this is very exciting and surprising, and it's a great piece. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations again. We're very happy for the both of you. Our next award is the Major General Don D. Pittman Wildlife Award, and it is $3,000 for an exceptional artistic merit for a wildlife painting or sculpture, and it is sponsored by the estate of the late Major General and Mrs. Don D. Pittman. And the award this year goes to Andrew Peters for Pleistocene Messengers. Congratulations, Andrew. Unmute your device, Andy.
Thank you very much. A lot of things came together on this painting. I used to be a wildlife artist about 3.5 decades ago, and I took a detour and painted landscapes out of doors for about 3 decades, and now I'm easing back into wildlife in some of my paintings. And this is a tribute to the great conservation biologists who rescued the trumpeter swan from near extinction when I was a child, to now their numbers are safe, and they're actually wintering near where I live, and I'm able to go and see them most winter evenings in numbers of up to 100. And so thank you. This is really a wonderful honor, and I thank you all very much.
Great. Congratulations, Andy. The only suggestion I have is the next time, find a title that's easier to pronounce, okay? The next award is the Wilson Hurley Memorial Award of $3,000. and it is for exceptional artistic merit for a landscape, and it is named for the late Wilson Hurley, and it is sponsored by Rod Moore, who is president of Moore Tax Financial. And the award this year goes to Ralph Olberg for Remnant of Wildness. Congratulations, Ralph.
Oh my goodness! Well, thank you so much. What an honor. It's an honor to just be part of this show, and I have been for 14 years. And this just really caps off my career at this point. And thank you so much. It's quite a thrill and an honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Ralph. We're very happy for you. The next award is the Robert Lougheed Memorial Award, and it was established in 1988 in memory of the late Robert Lougheed, a Prix de West artist who influenced many Prix de West artists with his talents and with his teachings. And the award of $3,000 for the best display of 3 or more works is chosen actually by the Prix de West exhibiting artist for one of their peers, and it is sponsored by Barbara and Roger Simons in memory of Phaedra and George Simons, who are true Westerners. And the award this year goes to Matt Smith for North Fork Creek, North Wash Autumn, Point Lobos, and San Miguel in winter. Congratulations, Matt.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
What an honor. What an honor. I tell you, I had the opportunity to go through the virtual tour of the gallery, and I was really impressed with what I saw. So to have my work stand out by my fellow artists is a true honor. And just real quickly, I'd like to give a thumbs up to you and Susan and all the staff at the museum, because the constant switchover trying to figure out how to make this show happen. Oh boy, I fell for you folks, but you did a great job, and I certainly appreciate it, as do the rest of the artists. And thank you very much to all of you who supported me on this.
Thank you, Matt, and congratulations again. Very happy for you. Our next award is the Frederick Remington Award of $3,000 for exceptional merit for a painting, and it is sponsored by Donna Holt, Jan Provine, and Terry Sadler, in loving memory of their parents, Russ and Dorothy Sadler, who were lifetime members and docents. As we all know, Frederick Remington was both a sculptor and a painter, but it's his perfection in the art of painting for which this prestigious award is given. And this year, I'm pleased to announce that the award goes to Kyle Polson for Buffalo Drum. Congratulations, Kyle.
Wow, guys, thank you so much. I'm blown away. Can y'all hear me okay? Man, I'm honestly speechless. What an award to get. I really appreciate it. Lee and I both are sad we can't be there this year, and we look forward to the show every year. It's such a big part of our year. And anyway, just what an honor. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Very happy for you, Kyle.
Thank you.
And finally, the Prix de West Purchase Award. The recipient of this award receives the purchase price of the piece and an award of $5,000 and a Prix de West medallion that is sponsored by Roberta M. Elridge. And each year, the Prix de West committee is faced with the very, very difficult task of selecting just one piece of art from the entire show to add to the museum's collection. And I know that we all would agree that the Purchase Award is the most coveted of all the awards by each and every one of you. Because since 1973, the Purchase Award piece becomes part of the museum's permanent collection to be appreciated by museum visitors for years and years to come. And now, without any further ado, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2020 Prix de West Purchase Award goes to Bill Anton for Makeshift Ambulance. Congratulations, Bill.
Wow.
Wow, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh boy, I don't know what to say. That's pretty stunning. Thank you so much. I don't know how many years I've done the show. I think it's 21 or 2 or something, and it's been the joy of my life since I started out there. So I agree with what Ralph said. It is an honor just to be in the same building with you guys. The friendships that we forged, the trading back of ideas, the help with critiques, everything has just been so special to my career, and something that we all need. It's impossible to grow without sharing ideas and talking with these guys who have so much experience and such a wealth of knowledge that they can share with me as I do my work. So again, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank you, Susan worked
Thanks, Dan.
with me, and Dan has worked with me, and Susan has bent over backwards for my late deadlines and all my nonsense. So there's really nothing I can say except thank you for putting up with me all these years. Thank you.
Congratulations. We're very happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, that completes the actual presentations. And now, before closing, and because I'm sure all of you are wondering about the sale, I'd like to ask our CEO, Natalie Shirley, to give all of us an update on the many and the varied marketing efforts that are in place to help promote the sale. And I know for a fact that Natalie and the marketing team have literally, and I'm not exaggerating, been working 24/7 on this. So at this time, Natalie?
Thank you, Dan. Well, this year's Prix de West is different than in years past. Our revised format still allows us to celebrate outstanding contemporary Western art while keeping in mind the health and safety of Prix de West artists and the museum's patrons and staff. Prix de West, as you know, is the largest annual fundraiser for the museum. We're honored to host this exhibition and sale, and we thank you for joining us in this unique way to celebrate you, our talented artists who contribute to the preservation of the American West. The 48th annual Prix de West Invitational Art Exhibition and Sale will be on exhibit until September 13th, and we hope you'll join us on Saturday, September the 12th, for the purely proxy Prix de West 2020 virtual experience, a virtual sale. Because of the unique way we're hosting this sale, the museum is engaging in a number of exciting marketing efforts, including small private events for buyers on every Thursday, just like last night. We've captured a 3D feature of the gallery. I hope that you all have seen it. And we are calling every potential buyer, and our social media campaign has increased dramatically. We already have a number of proxy bids for various pieces in the show. So I think our marketing efforts are working, but we won't stop. We won't stop until the show is over. We're also hosting a concierge service for proxy bidders so they can view the show either through FaceTime or Zoom if they're unable to attend in person, but they want to get a more close-up view of the art. More information on this sale can be found on the Prix de West or museum websites. Now, let me just take a moment to thank our generous sponsors who have made this event possible and allow the museum to continue its mission. A special thanks to our presenting sponsors, the Burnett Foundation and Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. We also want to thank our museum partners, Devon Energy and EL and Thelma Gaylord Foundation. All of our sponsors are featured in the Prix de West catalog and on the Prix de West website. We appreciate their continued support, and let me just give a shout out to the development department, who has worked so hard to continue to preserve the sponsors that we've had in the past. And now I'll turn it back over to Dan for his closing remarks.
Thank you, Natalie, and I'm sure all those efforts are going to be very, very positive and very, very helpful for the sale. Well, That concludes the awards presentations. I want to sincerely congratulate on behalf of the Prix de West Committee and the museum, all of our award winners. And I'm sure that all of you will always remember the 2020 Prix de West for more than just one reason. So as a reminder, our Buyer's Choice Award, which is the last award to become official, will be announced during the live auction on September 12th. And the service pins that we announced earlier, and the award medallions and the cash prizes from the awards that were announced, and the Prix de West catalogs and this year's bolo will all be mailed out in the coming weeks. So please look out for those. And in closing, I'm hopeful that in the not too very distant future, we will all have the opportunity to begin seeing each other in person once again. So that concludes our 2020 awards presentation program. Thank you for everyone for joining in. Good afternoon and be well.